Mr. Rivera, how long have you been living in the complex where you live?
3 years.
And how long have you had the same parking space?
2 years, because they moved my parking space.
You had a different parking space for a year?
Yeah, because they moved it.
Who moved it?
The manager.
Did they move it at your request?
They moved it at her request.
You've been living in the building for 3 years. You've had the same parking space for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the current parking space you're in?
Nope.
No is the answer. So you have a new parking space. After you were living in the complex for 2 years, they moved your parking space at her request.
Yes.
So you've had a new parking space for a year.
Yes.
I'm getting your side of this story. You've had a new parking space, not parking next to her, for 1 year.
Yes, miss.
Is that correct?
No, it's incorrect.
When was this parking space moved?
April. I began trying to get it moved.
April of this year.
That's correct.
Does that sound right?
I wouldn't recall.
Well, if you don't recall, then she's right. April, May, June, July, August, so about 6 months. So the damage that you're referring to that occurred to your car allegedly as a result of his opening his door and slamming into your car door happened more than 6 months ago.
Yes.
Okay. And how long have you been living in the building?
About 2.5 years.
How long have you had the same parking space?
The entire time.
So when you moved in, his car was already there.
That's correct.
And the scratches to the door are on the passenger side or the driver's side?
The passenger side, Your Honor.
So I would assume that as you are looking at the garage, he's parked to your right.
Correct.
If you're looking at the back of your cars, he's parked to your right. Now, how many cars are there in the structure, would you say? More than 10 or less than 10?
More than 10.
More than 20 or less than 20?
Less than 20.
So between 10 and 20.
Yes.
Of the 10 or 20 cars that are there, when people park their cars, do all of them pull into their spots, or do some of them back into the spots?
Some of them back into their spots.
How many of the 10 to 20 back into the spots?
3.
Who are they?
Apartment number 2,
Who lives there?
Miss Lynn.
Do you back into your spot?
No, Your Honor, I do not.
Takes a lot of time to back into your spot. Most people just pull into their spot. Who else backs into their spot?
Apartment number 7,
Who lives there?
we don't know.
You know who lives in apartment number 7?
Not personally.
Do they back into their spot or pull front into their spot?
Not that I recall. That's in a different area.
What other apartment backs into their spot?
I wouldn't recall any other apartments after that. I know I said 3.
May I see the damage that you allege to your passenger door as a result of Mr. Rivera's?
Absolutely, Your Honor. This is just
Car
the
door.
damage of the car? Just the car photos?
Well, what else do you have to show me?
I have photos of him and one of the witnesses at that very night of March 17th, and I also have the actual parking spaces where there's only 3 cars there.
You're talking about these spots.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Swoboda, the first time that you saw these nicks on your car, that clearly, because of the line of the nicks, comes from a car opening their door. You have a black car, dark car? What
Not
color
anymore.
is your car? What color was your car?
Black.